you at the threshold of our worship. This is from the Gospel of John, and this is from Mary's perspective. My soul magnifies the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. I love weddings. I love celebrations. I love how my heart just lifts right out of my very being. I have to tell you, there was this special one. Oh, that everything was just so perfectly just right. My heart was singing the whole time. And you know, these wedding celebrations, they go on for days. Well, this one was happening. This was a wedding celebration that happened in Cana in Galilee. I was there. And we were singing, we were eating, we were feasting, we were being together. And Jesus was there, and the disciples were also invited. And then it just so happened that the wine ran out. Well, I went and told Jesus. I said, they've run out of wine. He looked right at me. He knew what I was talking about. He knew exactly what I was saying. See, I was waiting for this. My child has known since I carried him in the womb that his purpose is different in his life. And I sang of this purpose to God. I sang of my soul, magnifying the Lord. What an amazing gift that God has given us. Israelite, God saw us. And that through God's child, everything would be changed. And I sang of this, and I knew this, because the Messiah was coming. And because of the Messiah, the empty would be filled. Those who were rich would be turned away. Everything would be turned on its head. There would be justice through Emmanuel, God with us. I knew my prophets, and I made sure Jesus knew those writings as well. We had that little episode at the temple where he stayed a little too long, but he was well trained. He knew the prophets, and the one of Isaiah the prophet, who said, you know, when God's time comes, it's going to be different. It'll be this big feast that comes about, and there will be wine, new wine that flows. And death will be swallowed up, and God will wipe away every tear. But it had to begin. It had to begin somewhere. And at that wedding, yes, the wine ran out, but my son knew, Jesus knew, that it was more than just that party where the wine had run out. I was talking about the wine for all of Israel. There was no more wine. So he knew what I was talking about. And he said, woman, what is that to you or to me? My time has not yet come. I smiled. Then I told the servants, you do whatever he tells you. And there, at the wedding, there were 6 stone jars. And they were used for Jewish purification washing. And they were huge. They were holding 20, 30 gallons. So Jesus said to the servants, take those jars and fill them. And the servants took them and filled them with water right to the very brim. Then Jesus said, now draw some out and give it to the chief steward, the chief caterer. So they drew some out and they gave it to the chief caterer. He took it, and he took a drink. And I watched the delight and pleasure just ripple through his face. See, he didn't know where the wine had come from. The servants knew where the wine had come from, but he didn't know. So he went right over to the bridegroom, and he said, you know, most people, they give out their best wine first, and then later they give out the cheaper stuff. But you have saved the best until last. I knew that things had begun. This was just the beginning. And this was Jesus' first sign. This was the first miracle. And the disciples